Okay, so we'll move on to Everton, who obviously lost Lukaku for an awful lot of money, and with that obviously came a lot of responsibility to replace him. Have they done a good job?
I think they've had a good window personally. I think they spent a lot of money, but Lukaku was always going to go. He was too good for Everton, summer or even last time you could have argued. But I think they've signed a lot of good players. Gylfi Sigurdsson is an absolute class signing for them, even though they paid a lot of money for him. Wayne Rooney on a free, we can't argue with that.
I think in terms of replacing Lukaku, have they done that? No, I wouldn't say they have. Sandro Ramirez is a big gamble, and Wayne Rooney, he's not going to hit the figures that Lukaku hit last season. But I think they've got a much better squad this season than they did last season. We've seen the likes of Jordan Pickford and Michael Keane coming in. So yeah, I think they've strengthened areas in which they've been weak in previous years. You've seen the likes of Joel Robles, Tim Howard and goal. They've been needing a new keeper for a while. And Michael Keane as well, I think, is a great signing.
The only thing I would say is about that, I don't really think Lukaku is replaceable. You can't replace a £75 million striker.
Yeah, it's a good point. And there's no one at the same level that Everton could get, probably.
No, I think it would have been very hard to find someone that good willing to go to Everton as well.
I think they've had a really good window when you look at like previous windows for Everton. I mean, they've obviously upgraded their squad rather than stayed the same or downgraded. But yeah, the biggest problem is going forward. Although they do have some decent young players, I think they've got Lookman as well. So, I think they'll have a good season, and I think it was a good transfer window for them.
I think they've got a very good squad, and I think they have the potential to maybe creep into 6th, 5th, that sort of territory, just because they've got a lot of options behind the striker in the 10 position. They've got Rooney can play there, Sigurdsson can play there, Klaassen can play there, and even Ross Barkley returning. And, yeah.
Do you think Everton should have sold Ross Barkley? Do you think that would have been a better move for the club to cash in on him?
They tried to, didn't they? He was the one that rejected it.
Yeah.
So I think once they got Sigurdsson, they didn't actually really need to keep Ross Barkley. No. So I think
they're not under any pressure to sell Ross Barkley, but I do think that in terms of getting a good price for him, I think that ship's maybe sailed, because in January they may have to bite the bullet. Because if someone like Tottenham or Chelsea come in for him again, I think that's when they should sell him. But I think in terms of getting a good, a very high amount of money for him, I think they've missed their boat.
Do you think he's worth a lot of money though? That's the other question.
Based on
current... Oh, sorry, Luke.
No, based on current ability, I would not say that he warrants a price tag that's been reported, the sort of 30-35 million sort of region. But having said that, if he goes to someone like Tottenham or Chelsea, who's got a lot of a manager with a lot of charisma, like Antonio Conte or Mauricio Pochettino, we've seen Pochettino. People forget Danny Rose, when Pochettino arrived, was horrendous, and now arguably he's one of the best fullbacks in the league. So I think Pochettino can maybe, or even Conte can maybe bring out the potential, but in terms of right now, I don't think he's worth the figures being reported.
Yeah,
you pay for the potential as well, though. You got to bear in mind, Jordan Pickford was never in a million years worth 30 million. He's probably half of that. But then you pay him for the years in advance. You've got to remember, Ross Barkley's still only really young.
But I think the thing with Ross Barkley is, if he come to Spurs, I don't think he'd be a starter necessarily. And the same at Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be starting at Everton this year anyway.
He won't now. So I agree. I think think he should have moved for obviously if he wants an England call up next summer as well. I think a move would have been best for him. I think he's missed. I wouldn't say a big opportunity, but he has missed an opportunity in turning down that move to Chelsea.
How would you rate Everton as a whole then, out of 10?
I'll give them an 8. I think
Yeah.
they might have lost their best player, but that was always going to happen. And what they've done is they strengthened the entire squad without actually spending that much money.
Yeah, spot on. I'd give him a 9.
I'd give him an 8 as well. Yeah.
I'd also give him an 8. And I think some like non-Everton fans may forget they've still got Seamus Coleman and Yannick Bolasie to come back.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Bolassie's quality as well.
You look at their youth coming through as well. Some of their youth players coming through look
Davey.
incredible.
And
Yeah,
Ronald
exactly.
Koeman's the right man to
Yeah, exactly.
utilise that. I mean, he's starting Calvert-Lewin. Is it Calvert-Lewin that's been starting? Lewis that's been starting.
Calvert-Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, and he's been playing well. So